Oh, yes, please, Jordan. Ms. Ort.
Thank you. Jordan Ort, 885 East Virginia Street. I just had a question about the rate increase for the water waste. And forgive me, that's why I'm asking the question. Does any of this money go towards any repair or replacements of the main sewer line, or is that something completely different?
This is all going towards the revenues that we get, so I mean it could be divvied out for part of those projects, but mostly it's just for the operations that we're currently for services that we're currently providing. Okay.
And then I did have another question. You had mentioned earlier that you were amending an ordinance for the temporary signage and whatnot. Is that something that, is that an avenue that people could use to request amending the ordinance for the smoking ban?
Who wants to?
I didn't get the, say that again.
So my question is, earlier it was asked, and I apologize, I didn't think about it earlier, but earlier was asked what were the avenues that could be used to talk about the smoking ban, or what could you do, and you were talking about amending an ordinance. Is that an option for the smoking ban to amend that ordinance?
That ordinance? I think the smoking ban is part of a much larger. Is that one ordinance on its own? Isn't that part of a whole?
It's a whole
am I making sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're making sense, but
okay. It was just a suggestion that I was thinking about as an option.
Jordan, that particular part, that 1206 or 1209, whichever number it is, the group that was here tonight, they just want it rescinded.
They don't want it amended.
They don't want it amended. They just want it gone.
To answer your question, yes, anybody up here can make that motion, and the majority of the council has to vote yes or no one way or the other.
Okay.
Yeah, they can be withdrawn, they can be amended, they can be...
Yeah.
Okay.
But how would you, I don't know how you'd amend it. Smoking only on the street, only on...
That's up to them.
Smoking only on Fridays and Saturdays, maybe. That'd be an amending. The trick is, and I keep telling these people that, and I probably can't go down there and drink coffee anymore, because if I say anything, it gets thrown back at me. But those folks are on the wrong side of history. You going to tell your 16-year-old that it's okay to start smoking cigarettes?
Certainly not. However, if the concern is a health concern, then wouldn't it be a citywide ban instead of in front of particular businesses? Because there's other businesses in town that don't have it.
Part of this, just to give you a little history, was that ban came about by the people who are directly affected that actually have businesses around there.
Gotcha.
As a matter of fact, when they stood up tonight and said that, and named some businesses that don't have a problem with it, those businesses have come to council members and said, we do have a problem with it, but we're afraid to say that we have a problem with it because we're afraid what's going to happen to our front windows and to other things. So that came about because there were a lot of people who wanted that there, that are directly, their livelihood is directly impacted by that.
Gotcha.
So there's two sides to it, and that's kind of where the balance is. How do we make everyone feel heard?
Gotcha.
You know, without making people feel shut out, and that's a hard one. But it's something I think that we would like to strive for.
I just don't think those people that came here that were necessarily against it felt like they were heard in terms of given all their options. So I wasn't sure if that was an option or an avenue that could be explored.
They've reached out to us on the council, and one thing that I point out is that there was a lot of apprehension about homegrown, the marijuana shop opening in town, for increased crime or whatever. We didn't know, we had no experience, but it is the cleanest downtown storefront, bar none, essentially. And I have pointed that out to many of the people who spoke here tonight. That I personally picked up 1,185 cigarette butts from Water Street to Virginia Street once on both sides on 3rd to prove a point to them that, you know, it wouldn't have come up if
If they
they
weren't,
they hadn't
yeah.
just flicked their butts everywhere. I'm a non-smoker. But if you put, you know, the marijuana store is contributing tax dollars, and I don't think it's contributing much to crime or anything else.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else this evening?
I actually have one thing.
Oh.
I'll toot my own
Go
horn
ahead.
here. I had, as a lot of you know, last January, I won a national award for this small business that gives back to their local community. I was flown down to Dallas, Texas to get it, and was very, very proud that occurred. Well, I was approached to do some things down in LA regarding that award, but it kind of has grown, and now an LA production crew is coming to Stayton this next week, and to working also with the production crew from Portland to do several, a national TV project that's going to, pieces of it are going to run from now until Christmas about small businesses caring for their communities. And so they're going to be taping me, and I will be the star of those TV ads and those TV spots.
Oh, God.
And so if you see me on TV, wave. But anyway, so they're going to be in town with some big trucks around my spot
You need some-
next week.
You need some handsome stand-ins?
You know what? They are not even going to use my staff. They're bringing actors or actresses. Like nobody is even. I'm the only person. All my staff are really excited that they might get to
Oh, we
be
can do that.
into part of it. And then get this: they asked me if I had a dog, and I said no, but it's fine if you want to bring one. So they're bringing a dog. Because I don't even own a dog.
You could come and get Gus. He's 2 blocks away.
Yeah, you know, I don't know, yeah, so dogs and me, it's turned into quite a production. I think it's actually going to be fun.
Business from the city manager. Keith?
Mr. Mayor, just to remind everyone that we have planned to cancel the next city council meeting. It's after Labor Day, and it's the first day of school. It's been our
Okay.
tradition for several years, so our next meeting will be that second meeting in September.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Is that it?
That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Business from the mayor, none, no more tonight. Business from the council, anything?
Move we adjourn.
Let's go home. Good night.